Hello, guys. BB Tales, Brother Bear Tail. I'm Randy. I'm here with
J Money.
J Money. Okay.
Yeah.
So today we are back with Bear Talk, and this week what are we talking about, J Money?
Some tech stuff, bro.
Some techie tech.
It's been a lot of tech. It's actually like came out last week.
Yeah.
Well, you know, far away, but it's okay.
We're right on top of it. What do you mean?
Yeah.
It just came out. Definitely. 100%.
All right.
Breaking news. Okay, sorry.
Oh, I was prepared for the breaking news.
This is the breaking news.
Okay, so Samsung had an event where they announced a whole plethora. You like that word, plethora? Of phones. So they announced the new Galaxy line, and you know, the exploding kind. No, I'm kidding.
The ones where you put them in your pocket, you take them out, you throw them, and all your enemies just go.
What video game had an GTA 5? They had a mod where you could throw the Galaxy Note 7 in it.
That's like right up GTA's alley, honestly. That's like perfect. Like, I can't think of a better game to do that with.
That's true.
They're just kind of like out there.
Yeah. So as y'all know, the Galaxy Note 9 was a big hit. A lot of people like it. It doesn't explode.
Not quite. Not quite.
Not yet. Nah, it's been out for a while.
Yeah, it's been out
not
for a
gonna
bit.
explode.
Yeah, it's not gonna explode.
Well, they announced the new Galaxy S10, S10 Plus, and S10e.
Ooh, the
Three
E.
phones.
The 10, the Plus, and the E.
Yeah.
We're all over the place right now.
I know, right? So the S10 and the S10 Plus are basically the same exact phone except a bigger display.
Of course, because the Plus always means plus size.
Yeah. It's kind of like how the iPhones are doing it. Samsung copied them.
With the plus, because you get a bigger.
Instead of
bigger
putting
display.
the word plus, like Apple.
They just draw the plus sign. It's unique. It's original. It's definitely not normal.
Have you seen that thing where they're like, hey, like you can copy me but change it a little bit?
Yeah.
And then,
So instead of writing plus, you just those guys writing out words. We're gonna save space.
Marketing at its finest.
Quite so. Yes.
So the S10 has a 6.1 inch display. Not bad.
Okay.
Pretty good. The S10 Plus has a 6.4 inch, which I believe is the same size as the Note 9, which is a pretty large phone.
Pretty big.
Also, I think it's the same size as the iPhone XS Max.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So it's a big phone.
Pretty big, yeah.
But the S10 is probably, I'm not sure exactly, but probably the same size as like a iPhone XS.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, so they're just kind of competing together. The S10 Plus, 6.4 inch, and then the S10e is like their answer to the iPhone XR.
So it's like a more affordable version.
Yeah,
it's so affordable.
Right?
You know, the phones are really expensive, but like for those people that are like, I need to save some money, they're like, here's your option. Still buy from us. Ooh. Okay, so the thing about the Samsung S10 is, so here's the thing. Crazy thing here. You can go up to 1 terabyte.
Can you believe that?
1 terabyte.
Like, it feels like a few years ago, like 16 gigs was like
insane. That is half
gigs.
my computer's hard drive space. And then it doesn't even stop it there. You can get 12 gigs of RAM. Yes, we are still talking about cell phones.
Yeah.
We are still talking about cell
My
phones.
desktop has 8 gigs right now. A desktop, you know.
That's a computer. That's a personal computer, if you don't know what PC stands for. Personal computer. And this phone has 12 gigs of RAM. What is going on in this world that we're in? They're like, cell phones? No, miniature computers. That's what we're working with here today.
You're actually kind of paying for like a laptop. Not even a regular laptop, like a nice laptop price. If you get a 12 gigs of RAM, the S10 Plus with 1 terabyte of storage, you're gonna be paying $1,600.
Do you have $1,600 lying around?
No, I don't.
Neither do I. I don't have $1,600.
Do you?
I would pay
If you
less
do,
than
like,
that.
hit me up.
Well, I mean, if you wanna, you know, yeah. We're not saying to pay us. We're not saying that. Anyway, so you could buy a laptop that's probably got
nice one. You can buy a gaming one.
You can buy a gaming one for less than that.
Yes.
Less than that.
Yeah.
Not even that. Less than that. I mean, I guess you could have it all in one as like a phone and like a nice like souped up phone, you know. But you could have a computer and you could have a cheaper phone and you still be fine. That's all I'm saying.
They still do talk and text the same, you know.
Yeah. Honestly, I think it's nice to have this in a phone. I do think it is 120% unnecessary. But they're thinking big. I like people that think big. I do.
Yeah. And they did think pretty big. So the S10 and S10 Plus have 3 cameras now.
3. Not
on the
one,
back.
Not 1.
Well, I guess 4
Not
if you count
2.
the front, honestly.
3 on the back.
Yeah.
1 on the front.
So the way it works is like one camera is like a regular one,
Standard.
and then the second one's like a wide angle,
Okay. Okay.
and then the third one's like telephoto.
Yeah.
Telephoto, like it's like zoomed in more.
And that's kind of like become a normal thing. Your
Yeah.
iPhones have it too. If you look at the
Yeah.
back, there's 2 cameras. One's the normal one. The second one's it's meant to zoom in. It doesn't like straight up zoom in. You open it. Whenever
Yeah.
you go to zoom in, and it's just there.
So you don't have to like digitally zoom in, which
Loses
can make
some
the quality
quality.
worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're nice.
They
I
are nice.
welcome it.
It's
But 3 cameras, that's crazy. I would never have thought that if I would predict the
it
future.
become a standard.
Yeah.
Because you know you have the like we were talking about this earlier. You have these outlier phones that have multiple cameras in the sense of like 3 or more, and they're interesting, but they never they aren't mainstream. They aren't like the main phones that you come across. But in
Yeah.
this case, you have the 3 camera setup. It might be a standard that comes in the future.
Yep, Samsung's adopting it. iPhone, Apple's already done it.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. But that doesn't stop there. They now have an in-display fingerprint reader.
That's very interesting.
In display, I like not like
Not on a
out
button.
of display.
In display. Like the thing that's display. Yeah, your finger goes there, and guess what? Bam, your phone's open.
Yeah, it uses an ultrasonic finger or like touch display fingerprint reader display.
I get what you're saying.
So the way it works is it shoots out ultrasonic waves at your thumb or finger, and they said like they can find the distance between the ridges of your fingerprint.
That is some impressive technology.
Yeah. So the technology before was basically an optical sensor, which is basically like a little camera under the display, and it would when you put your finger on it, light up the display, and the camera could see your fingerprint. So now that's kind of considered old technology, because if you think about it, if you were to think somebody did this, they put sandpaper on, like let's say your like screen was cracked or like messed up right there, it wouldn't be able to read it because it couldn't see your thumb. But this is a ultrasonic one where no matter what, like my boy MKBHD, he did a little test where he put his thumb in water and did it, and it worked. But on the other one, the old technology, it wouldn't work because it couldn't see it because your thumb had water and it kind of distorted the image. But the ultrasonic one, you can have, mud, dirt. I mean, obviously not a lot, but like, if your hands are a little dirty from, in the kitchen or whatever, it would be able to do it.
Which is pretty impressive technology.
Yeah.
It says technology these days is just up and up.
It's going crazy. Apparently it's pretty fast, which is good.
Yeah.
So that was like kind of one of their main
things that were
they
pulling
grab
out.
you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The newest technology to get you to want to buy their phone.
Yeah. So so the S10, S10 Plus, basically the same thing, all the same internals. The S10e, I don't really know anything about it because I don't really care about it, honestly.
I mean, the thing is, most people don't care about these cheap versions. The cheap versions usually apply to people that aren't big into phones.
Yeah.
Because if you're big into a phone, you're not going to spend money unless you're doing a review. You're not going to spend money on the cheaper version. You're going to go for the bad boy, the 1 terabyte and 12 gigs of RAM, the little mini computer.
Oh yeah, But honestly, a lot of people might actually choose the S10e
Why is that?
because it's cheaper. If you look at the iPhone XR, it's actually a really good seller. Like, I was surprised by it, but it's actually like I know people who have the iPhone XR, and I was like, oh, okay, very interesting.
I feel like saving money to people is a huge thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's not a ton. I mean, there's a good amount, but there's not a ton of phone phone, like people that really care about their phones.
Yeah, okay, like enthusiasts.
Enthusiasts, yes. They're not
or
many,
tech enthusiasts.
not as many phone enthusiasts as people may think. So people are okay. They're like, oh, I'm probably getting about the same. I'll just take the hit, probably the tiny hit I'm taking on technology, and I'll save some money.
Yeah.
It's more along the enthusiasts that want to keep up and up and up and up with the newest stuff.
Yeah, because honestly, like, if you go to like the average person, you're like, hey, look at this awesome phone. They're gonna be like, oh, like it's faster. Like that's neat.
Yeah.
They're not really gonna care like, oh, like it's got a terabyte of storage. 12 gigs of RAM. They don't really care
Some people
why.
don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's okay to not know what that means.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna like be bragging about it to someone, you're probably gonna want to pick someone that actually understands what you're talking about.
Yeah. And I forgot to mention another like main feature of these phones is it's called a hole punch display.
Oh, right.
And so you might be wondering, well, these phones, 6.4 inch, 6.1 inch, that's pretty large display, but they're actually pretty compact because they're all display.
Yeah.
Except the hole punch.
So the way the iPhone is set up, if you look, there's it's a straight shot with a ridge that comes down and comes
called
back
like
up.
a notch.
Yeah, a notch.
Yeah.
These phones are not like that. So they take out the notch in the middle, and what do?
They basically cut out of the panel, the OLED panel, and put the camera in there. Mm-hmm. So like imagine like, your little camera is like a circle, right? Well, imagine that circle where it should be, but since it's all display, it's just kind of taking up room right there.
Yeah.
It's like a hole punch. Like imagine like a sheet of paper and you hole punch it.
And that's just
like
enough
that.
for the camera.
Yeah, and the paper is your screen, and then you just kind of do that.
Yeah.
And so the S10...
Do not hole punch your camera. Your phone. Don't hole punch your phone.
Don't do that.
Not good.
Yeah, it would be really hard to do that. But don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't try.
So the S10 has like a legit hole punch, like it's just one hole. But the S10 Plus is like, it's what do you call that?
Like an oval?
Yeah, it's kind of like an oval. Because it not only has a front-facing camera, but also has a depth sensor. So it can, kind of like the iPhone, it can see your face and lock your phone with that.
Which is pretty nice.
But they actually say that that's not as secure as the fingerprint reader.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Probably because like you might be able to fool it with like a picture or something. I don't know.
I guess that would
Actually, I haven't
hard.
tried that with my phone.
That'd be interesting. We're gonna try that sometime. Yeah. How secure are you?
But so that wasn't even the biggest thing really they unveiled.
No, they came out with a huge announcement. Their biggest project they've been working on in a while, actually. And it is called...
The Galaxy Fold.
Yes. We're talking about Fold, like F-O-L-D. The phone folds.
We're not talking about Bendgate. Have you heard of Bendgate?
I have not heard of Bendgate.
So the iPhone, I think 6, the first iPhone with the metal.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
where it would bend in your pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. We're talking about a phone that intentionally,
intentionally
bends.
They welcome you to bend it.
They want you to bend it. That's the whole point of the phone, as a matter of fact.
So this phone is pretty crazy, honestly. So in the front, basically the phone, well, the Galaxy one, or Samsung's version, it's like a really like skinny, tall phone with really like honestly like a mediocre display. Like it's not even that big. It's touchscreen.
It's touchscreen, but like it's cut off at the top and the bottom.
Yeah, I don't know why.
That's it's weird they do that.
Yeah, but you can fold it out like so.
And it turns into like a tablet.
Yeah, a 7.3 inch tablet.
which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
We were talking about how they turned the other phone like a little mini computer. Now you have like a tablet. It's like they're trying to change phones.
They really are.
To be something more, which is really interesting, and it's really like a big thing.
Yeah. So, again, this one has 3 cameras, just like the S10. It's got 12 gigs of RAM, which I think is standard actually. So they're trying to market it as like an even higher end product, because the S10 Plus, you can get it in 8 gigs of RAM and 12.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, you have to get
$12.
more expensive to do the 12. But I think the Galaxy Fold automatically does 12 gigs. And rightly so, because tell me what the price of this thing is.
We're talking about not one, but we're talking about $2,000. We were at $1,600 a little while ago. We talking about not having that in our pockets. Our pockets got to go even deeper for that $2K mark. And guess what? That's a price right there.
That's crazy.
That's a big boy bucks right there for a phone.
You can get like a crazy desktop.
We're gonna have a podcast go up as soon as we can get there all the footage of the new computer that I have.
Yeah.
Guess what? I did not spend no $2K or $1,600 to upgrade that computer. And it's nice.
Yes.
Let me tell you, it is clean. The thing boots up in 10 seconds. It has extremely great graphics. Did not spend $1,600 on it.
Yeah.
Did not spend $2K on it either. These phones are looking to make some money. Some say rightfully so.
Yeah.
Some do.
But then again, like, it is new technology. You do pay to be an early adopter.
Yes. So I mean, like, theoretically, if I bought all new parts for my computer, it would have been a lot more than $2,000.
Yeah.
A lot more than $2,000. So I guess we are talking about new stuff here, but we're talking about overall price. We can't afford to spend this kind of money, obviously. Maybe if some of you can, and if you do, great on you. Like, send it to us on social media. Let us know what you think.
Or send us the device.
If you can. Okay.
But anyways, you might wonder, how in the world can you fold a display? It's glass. Well, this actually isn't. So OLED is, and pretty much like a lot of flagship phones, it's in the S10, it's in the new iPhones, and OLED is it's the panel itself is actually really flexible. It's just that they put glass on top of it, which makes it not flexible.
Yeah.
But it's the reason why they're able to fold it, because what they do is basically they don't put the glass. They put probably plastic or polyester.
Something that can bend with it.
Yeah. And my professor is really obsessed with this phone.
Yeah.
And she did the math of how many times it can bend. Apparently, it can bend 100 times a day, every day, for 6 years. And that's not even before it fails. That's just what it's rated for.
That's pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
6 years worth of phone bending.
I can't imagine opening it 100 times in a day. Just like, yeah.
Nah, that would last you a while.
Huh?
That would last you a while.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So honestly, the mechanism for it to bend would probably, no, it's rated for that. The
That's what it's
mechanism
rated for.
and
Yeah.
the display.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's crazy. But Samsung's not the only one.
Samsung is not the only one with this phone bending technology. That is right. We are still not talking about the iPhone situation. We are talking about another new phone that's coming out by Huawei, and it's called.
I think that's how it's pronounced.
We're gonna call it Huawei, and we're gonna hope we're pronouncing it right. It is called the Mate X.
X. Yeah. So this one is a little different than the Galaxy Fold, because the Galaxy Fold, when it folds out, it's got a little notch again, but not in the middle, it's on the side, and that's where its cameras are for the, I guess, front-facing camera, and then it's got the back cameras. Well, this one's a little different. It's hard to like kind of like explain it, but we'll try.
Yeah, we'll go for it.
So basically, the Galaxy Fold, the screen is in the fold.
Yes.
But the Mate X is on the outside of the fold.
So the idea to this is that for the Samsung Galaxy Fold, it kind of protects the other part of the screen.
Yeah.
For the Huawei phone, they're confident that this isn't going to be a huge problem, so it's on the outside The biggest thing this changes is that on the Fold, you get less screen. And on the Mate, you get more screen because whenever it opens, it has more room on it.
Yeah, I would say so. And also you can have, when it's in this folded position, you can have a bigger front screen. Because like you said, the Galaxy Fold had this weird, small...
Yeah, like the top and the bottom
not
were
impressive.
not being used. But on the Mate, if you're just holding the phone, the whole screen's being used. Like what we're getting accustomed to.
Yeah, and legit, the whole phone is screen.
Yeah.
Like, not even kidding. And then the back is the continuation of the screen, and then it ends with like a little like hump, and then that's where it has 3 cameras too.
So you like have to kind of turn it sideways to take the picture. Am I right?
Well, no, it's like if you fold it on the back, so you can use it as like a regular phone. But when you
I'm talking about the camera when you have it in tablet mode.
Yeah, I guess
it's like on the side.
Yeah, well, it'd be in front of you, so like you have to. I don't know how that would
That'd
work.
be interesting.
Again, like it's new technology, so they haven't thought
so
of.
It's like ups and downs to it. You can compare them yourself. We're just here to tell you about it and tell you like what we're thinking.
They probably make compromises. Like someone's probably like, "Oh, like how are they gonna do that?" And they're probably like, "They're just gonna fold it, then take the picture."
Exactly.
But what's cool is like when it's folded, you can look behind the phone and it still has a screen, so you can actually take a selfie with the best cameras the phone can provide, which is pretty neat.
Yeah,
I think so.
It's pretty nice.
And me personally, I like this design better than the Galaxy Fold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying it.
He's saying it. He's just gonna throw it out there real quick. What specifically about it do you like better?
I just like how, first of all, it's got a bigger display, 8 inches.
Yes.
Which is far bigger than the biggest
7.3.
phones that are out.
Yeah.
And it's a continuous display. There's no little hump or notch like the Galaxy Fold. And I like when you fold the phone, you can use that display still.
Yeah.
In the front and the back.
It's not like wasted.
Yeah.
Like you could argue that about the Fold, that whenever it's folded up and you can't see it anymore, that's kind of like wasted usage.
Yeah. And it kind of, to me, felt like for the Galaxy Fold, they focused on the inside display, the big one, but that front display is kind of like an afterthought. Like they were like, they spent so much time and money on this, fancy OLED screen, but they're like, they need to see something on the front.
Yeah.
We'll just add a cheap touchscreen display.
Which is crazy to think about because that's the one you're going to be seeing the most, even if you do get it for that reason.
And I'd expect Samsung to almost produce a superior product.
Just by default, a superior product.
Because they got the money, they're huge. I'm pretty sure, Huawei is pretty big in China and
but
stuff
most
like
people in America probably haven't heard of them. By default, most people know Samsung, Apple, and these companies, but they don't know Huawei and other companies like that.
Yeah, they're coming up for sure. Definitely with this design.
Yeah, with this technology, they're this phone that they're coming out with.
Yeah. So the specs of the Huawei, so it's got 8 gigs of RAM, so less than the Galaxy Fold, but come on, 8 gigs.
8 gigs is plenty.
That should be plenty.
That's not really a problem.
Yeah. So again, it's got an OLED display.
And it's thinner.
Yeah. Which, I don't know. I feel like thinner was a big deal back in the day, but now...
It's a preference thing.
Yeah.
If you like thinner, this is another plus for you type of thing.
Because now we're getting so thin where it's kind of hard to hold it.
Yeah.
In a way, if you put a case on it, it won't slip out of your hands.
Yeah.
But then again, this is a foldable phone, so the Galaxy Fold might be a little too thick.
Yeah.
For most people, so they might gravitate towards a Huawei.
It's true.
I honestly don't know what the price is, but I can't imagine it's that much different from the $2,000.
It's probably in the same ballpark.
Yeah. But honestly, I was thinking, the way they could promote it is you're basically buying a phone and a tablet in one. So if people spend $600
on a tablet,
and then they spend $1,000 on a phone, that's $1,600. $2,000 for the luxury of having them both.
in one.
Maybe I can see them.
Yeah, I see them pushing that.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
possibly. It's a possibility.
So now,
Wait,
what?
I was gonna say the last thing that we have to talk about is NVIDIA.
Yeah.
So NVIDIA's out here. They throwing themselves around. You got the 1000 series, the 1070, you know, the 1080 Ti. You got the 2000 series. You know, they came out with they're flaunting it. They know what they're doing. They got the RTX out here. They mean business. Then they hit us with the stutter and leave us all very confused, and they drop out the new 1660 Ti. And we're sitting here like, you were at 1000, you were at 2000, and you 1500. Still weird, but you know, it's in the middle. 1660.
That's so random.
1660. You know, what?
Dude, I saw this video, and this guy was like, you know, I never thought if my kid came up to me and was like 1,000, I'm like, yes. And the kid's like 1,600, and he's like, no. And the kid's like 2,000. He's like, okay. And to like basically say like, you know, they teach kids in school like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
He said, but I never would think that my kid would come to me and be like 1, you know, 1.6, 2. And he was just making a joke about it. But it's true.
Like, it is. It's kind of random. They threw it in there. And the even more random thing about it that's hard to get over is it's not an in-between. They're selling it as, but it's not really.
Usually when they do in-between, they do in-between like the 70 and 80. So like we have the 1070, the 1070 Ti, which is in between the 1070 and 1080. Right? And then that's usually how they do it. They don't really care about from the 60 to the 70.
Yeah.
So like the 1060 to the 1070. But this isn't even like it's not even.
It's okay. So it's about as good as the 1070.
Yeah.
But not as good as the 2060. Even though it's
newer than 2060.
It's newer than 2060, and it's the 1660 Ti. So you would think, because it's the Ti, it would be better.
Yeah, because it's like 2080 Ti, cream of the crop. You know, the 1070 Ti is, you know, kind of the king of the crop for like mid range. This isn't even. I don't know.
It's kind of random. It felt like they were trying to throw something out there.
Yeah, but why would they need to when they just released the RTX line, which has the fancy new ray tracing, which is why they call it RTX. And guess what? This is kind of branded as the RTX. It's on the same. They call it the Turing, like series, but it doesn't have the ray tracing features.
So bigger. The question mark just keeps getting bigger. Like I don't.
Yeah, like my theory is it might honestly be like you know, like the 10 series, like a car that they never released, and they're just kind of rebranding it, and they upped the power, which made it a little faster.
That would make sense. That would make sense. The question is still why? Like they don't need to.
And the price is even more confusing. It's $280, which is actually a really good price, which is actually a little cheaper than the 1070, and it like competes with the 1070. And like, what?
Does it make any sense? It's kind of a questionable call by NVIDIA to throw that out there. It's
like, why would you make a car that competes with the older generation? You would want it to compete with the newer one, right?
Yeah, that would make sense.
I don't know, or at least where you couldn't even like, there's no 1060 Ti to compete with. I don't think there is. No.
Oh, 1060 Ti. No, okay. I thought it was just 1660 Ti. That's what we're talking about.
The numbers, man.
Yeah,
the numbers.
They're all over the place. 1060 Ti. No, I don't think there's a 1060 Ti.
Even if there is, it doesn't compete with it. Like it competes with the 1070,
which doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
It's kind of all over the place. That was like the Samsung, and we have Huawei, and we have all that to talk about, which is really interesting, really top notch. You have NVIDIA kind of thrown in there with a little bit of odd touch.
I don't know.
Out of touch, kind of weird thing to go in the video card world.
Yeah. and like you just got the 1070 in your system.
Yeah.
And then they throw this, and it's like
I wasn't expecting that, obviously, because that was kind of really random and all over the place.
I don't know, but I don't know. I'm not getting it.
I'm not getting it. Honestly, I'm not getting it.
I don't know how it's gonna sell, honestly.
We shall see. It's still pretty new.
Yeah, it's very new. Yeah. But their 20 series cards are really good.
Yeah, the 20 series cards have gotten some good feedback.
Yeah. Except for the 2070, there was like this little controversy where if you got, so the 2070 would go for like $500, but so like EVGA or MSI would come out with like a $530 card or $550. Well, apparently the $500 cards were actually perform worse than like a little more expensive card.
Which, if you don't know, it's not how it's supposed to work.
No, they're supposed to always, well, like their base speed should be the same, but like obviously like EVGA, MSI have better coolers. They kind of overclock a little bit.
They push them.
Yeah.
They push them. But it's not supposed to be a thing where the performance at ground level is not flat.
Yeah, no. Like legit, the GPU die were the different.
Mm-hmm.
Like people actually tore it down and looked at it, and the numbers, like they have like a serial number, is actually different.
That's just weird.
Yeah, and people were mad because like obviously a lot of people are gonna go with a $500 one if it looks just as good as the $550 one.
Save a little money,
Yeah, and then they realized like they actually got worse performance,
which is really sad.
I mean, they were like obviously $500 versus $550 might give you worse performance, but like this was like bad performance.
Yeah,
like, much worse than what it should be.
Big difference.
So I don't even know if they fixed it. I know there's this website that like will tell you if this certain graphics card will be that.
It's kind of sad that it has to come to that though. I don't know. I don't know how this turned to us just like coming at NVIDIA. NVIDIA.
We love NVIDIA.
We do love NVIDIA.
They make really good GPUs.
They just goof from now and then.
Yeah. Their pricing, I don't agree with them. Like the 2080 Ti is like I think above $1,000, or it's supposed to be like $900, but they sell it for over $1,000. Interesting.
It's because they know that they have some of the best graphics cards around.
That's true.
And they can do it. It's not a monopoly, but,
I mean, yeah. I mean, AMD's kind of come out with some good stuff. Honestly, I don't know much about AMD because I've always been like an NVIDIA fanboy because like they've always made these awesome things. But honestly, NVIDIA, in my opinion, needs competition.
They do.
It's kind of like Intel. Intel is the cream of the crop, and they can price their CPUs whatever they want. AMD's been the king of like low-end computers, which good for them, but honestly there needs to be another game changer,
top dog,
to lower the prices, not have a monopoly like you said.
That would be nice.
Make PC building a lot cheaper, which it should be, because if you buy a pre-built system, it's obviously going to be more expensive because you have to pay for labor, but if you build it yourself, it should be cheaper, but
a good bit cheaper.
Well, the mining crisis made them so high.
If you don't know, people were using graphics cards to solve problems, which would allow them to get Bitcoin so they can make a ton of money, so they were buying graphics cards in bulk, which was raising the price of graphics cards, so the normal consumers had to pay a lot more money for graphics cards, and it took like a year for that to like slowly come down after the whole mining thing stopped.
The 1060 was supposed to be marketed as like what, $350 or something?
Yeah.
It was like at one point what, like $800, $900, almost like $1,000.
Ridiculous. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely insane.
Like every tech website was like, do not buy a graphics card right now, which is crazy.
Yeah. It's nuts, but when Bitcoin crashed and things went down, plus graphics cards, companies started telling people not to sell in bulk because people were buying 5 or 6 cards, and that's absolutely not normal. 2, okay, that's fine.
At most, like a high-end system is 4, but if you do more than 4, you actually are getting a mining motherboard.
Yeah.
So they know if you order more than 4,
which most people don't do.
Unless you're building like multiple machines, but
that's different. That's like buying in bulk and you you could probably, that's probably like a business thing at that point.
Yeah. And I mean, they've gone down in price, but honestly, I still think they're a little affected. Because you bought your card, the 1070, and I swear, like, I checked, like, a few days later, and it went up $100. Like, it was on sale, but $100 sale? That's a big sale.
That's a huge sale.
I don't know. I think it was...
I got lucky with that, honestly.
Yeah. But yeah, that was such a crisis. It was, and back then, the tech companies were actually telling people to actually buy pre-built systems. Because the pre-built system were cheaper because the companies could actually buy the cars at regular prices.
Which is crazy.
Unbelievable. Sorry, it's a rant.
we're getting heated.
But yeah, as an overview, talk about Samsung, S10, S10
all
Plus.
their new announcements.
Yep.
You had the S10e,
Yep.
you had the Fold. We talked about Huawei with the Mate X. We got into NVIDIA with their graphics card situations.
Then a little rant, and then we're back to...
Now we're here. That's about it for this podcast.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Be prepared for the PC building one. I don't know if it's going before or after this.
It'll probably be after this.
Okay.
Just because of how things worked out.
Yeah.
Sorry about no podcast last week. Things got absolutely crazy. We had to build the computer multiple times. I don't know if that's going to be perfectly expressed in the podcast. Some things went wrong, but we got fixed. It worked out perfectly fine. And we're in college. We're in university. So stuff happens sometimes.
We got homework.
Sadly, wish we could do this just a lot more. But, we do it when we can, and we have videos pretty decently often. I say so. Gaming channels.
We try.
Popping. We do this once a week. We'll get back to the comedy stuff soon.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Be on the watch out for
a new video.
Some short skits.
Short skits.
We don't really know what they're gonna be about. Well, we know the first one probably. Yeah. We don't really know about the other one.
We're just gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Have some good laughs. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. You guys seem to like our style of comedy. I've gotten some pretty good feedback. Not everyone likes it, but not everyone's gonna like us, and that's perfectly fine with us. That's perfectly okay. We love you guys. We're going to continue to grow. If you like this video, leave a like on the video. Hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications. You better believe it. I am Randy, and I'm joined by my boy,
J Money.
Yeah. This has been Bear Talk, and bear with us. Until the next video.